Hello, everybody. Why does my screen seem fuzzy today? Did it get something spilled on it, maybe? During the weekend watching the fights? Yeah, it seems almost like there's a fog on the screen. I do need a new iPad anyway, but today we are going to be reviewing the fourth movie in the Scream franchise, Scream 4, which was probably one of Wes Craven's last films that he ever made. Unfortunately, because he did pass away, I believe in 2015, if I'm remembering that correctly. So we'll just pull up because there were a few new cast members in this movie. And I think I can't remember what I even rated this one. We'll just delete those two. So Scream 4. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I actually did enjoy this one. I felt like it was kind of a little bit more similar to the original, just with obviously new killers and younger killers, and I felt like the storyline was a little bit better. So obviously we have Sidney Prescott coming back. Um, so Woodsboro, right, is where they live. Yeah. So this is 10 years after, um, 10 years after, I guess, the events of obviously Scream 3. So she has written her own book at this point, um, and everything seems to be kind of working out for her. And she has a younger cousin who all of a sudden starts getting uh, these threats from this Ghostface person. That's what the killer's name has become over the years, Ghostface, based off of the Stab movies, right? So this movie opens. Yeah, this is the one that opens with but like it seems like it's it seems like it's a start of a. I believe this is the one, Scream 4, that opens with like it seems like it's the start of the movie, and then it ends up just being like the Stab sequels or whatever. So now this killer is basing it off of clearly just all of the movies and going after some younger people. So Hayden Panettiere played Kirby Reed. Um, Emma Roberts played Jill Roberts. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Who else was really in this movie? Oh, Mary Shelton played Deputy Judy Hicks, so she was back from the third movie too. Anna Paquin played Rachel. Kristen Bell played Chloe, so they were part of the people from one of the movies. Lucy Hale played Sherry, and I think yeah, she was in like a like a start in one of the movies as well. Um, who else was? And then we had the actual Alison Brie played Rebecca Walters, and then we had the actual two people at the very beginning of the movie um, that were the actual two first people that ended up dying, but I can't quite remember their names. And then we obviously had the threats to everybody throughout the movie, right? Anthony Anderson played Deputy Perkins, and Brody played Adam Brody played Deputy Haas. So there was quite a few new cast members in this movie, obviously. And now I'm trying to remember who was the first one to die, like that actually died in real. Okay, so Britt Robertson was the one that died at the sorority house by herself. And then, oh yeah, so the first two girls were played by Amy Teagarden and who was the other one that was in the, oh, and Britt Robertson. Okay, interesting. So I guess they were the first two to die. Okay, their characters. Okay, interesting. Um, so yeah, who were their what were their names though? Uh, oh yeah, Jenny Randall and Maureen Cooper. Okay, so I guess Sheena Grimes Beach must have been one of the other girls that played in one of the like movie starts. or such. Yeah, hit all there. Or was she the third girl? No, because that was Mariel Jafe. Okay. Or Jaff. Oh, she was... Yeah, she must have been one of the ones that was in the very start. Interesting. I can't remember exactly what role she played. I'm assuming it was... Yeah, I'm assuming it was one of those. Just like the fake start where it seems like it's the movie. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I mean, and the killings in this one were way more brutal than the past ones, that's for sure. Especially when the first friend dies, and I think isn't it like across the street from the two? Yeah, it was across the street from the other two girls. Uh, and Ghostface was hiding in the one girl's closet and just absolutely like stabbed her to death, and just there's blood all over the walls and out throughout the bedroom and so on and so forth. It was just, yeah, much more violent killings. And Courtney Cox's character, Gale Weathers, is trying to, I guess, solve the murders. That's basically, she's kind of become like the middleman between um like between the cops and so on and so forth, right? Like she seems to be the one who's always been putting the pieces together in the previous movies, so she thinks she can do it uh, this time around. So she kind of almost is like a private investigator, and when she sets up the cameras at the like the stabathon party that they have in this movie, um, Ghostface ends up covering up all the cameras. It's like he knew that somebody was going to be doing this, which was kind of insane. And I believe that was it. Were they separated in this movie? I think Courtney Cox and David Arquette were still, like, their characters were still together in this movie. I do believe. Yeah, if I'm remembering. Oh yeah, Gale Weathers Riley and Dewey Riley. So they were married at this point. Okay. Um, so I think this might have been one of the more shocking ones where the killer was a little less obvious. Um, I mean, not to say that the killer, obviously watching the movie for the first time, um, not not that this is the first time I've watched this movie, but I feel like sometimes it's kind of a little too obvious as to who the killer is. But I feel like as the series went on, they kind of did a very good job of um, throwing you off the track or course of who the killer could actually be. Um, and in this one, it felt a little bit more like the original, like there was two killers. It seems that there always is, and one of them has to kind of one of the killers has to die, or yeah, it has to make it look like obviously Sydney is the killer or somebody else, right? So the killer actually ends up being her cousin, and the one other guy that was supposed to be doing this Screamathon marathon thing, Rory Culkin, who played Charlie Walker, and who was the other, his buddy there that was throughout the movie. Was it Eric Knudsen played Robbie Mercer? Yeah, okay. And so Hayden Panettiere's character all of a sudden kind of Kirby, she starts to sort of notice, I guess. She starts to kind of notice Charlie in the house when they're all there together. And I believe that, yeah, I know that Jill's ex shows up for whatever reason, even though nobody had invited him. Oh, Trevor, played by Nico Tortorella. Um, so then, the killer is asking Hayden Panettiere not to answer all these questions about these horror movies so that Charlie doesn't die, and then it ends up that Charlie ends up being the killer. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, I thought that Kirby died in this movie, and then when they get to the house, it seems like it seems like there's already two, it seems like the two killers are the people who did the Stabathon movie marathon, right? That's who you're suspecting. And then all of a sudden it ends up being Jill, and Jill's whole motive was she wanted to be popular like Sydney, and the only way for her to do that was to obviously kill Sydney and then make it look like Sydney had done all the killings. So then when they end up going into the hospital, at the very end of the movie, Jill finds out that Sydney is still alive and tries to go kill her in there. So it was just a huge, big mess at the end of the movie, and I think this had the this one felt like a more perfect and put together storyline. So I gave this movie a 9 out of 10 for this one, and I guess I will review the fifth one probably tomorrow morning when I have a chance to do that one, and then Bubba Hotep, because I finally watched that on Tubi. So yeah. Got a couple more movies to review, and then I got to watch Creed 1 and 2 on Wednesday, and then I got to watch, then I got to start watching Andor. Yeah, so I got a lot to watch, and then probably the Mission Impossible series, I think, again, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's coming out first. Oh, I should probably watch the first two John Wick movies, because yeah, it's been a while since I've seen them. Even though I've already reviewed them, so that'll just be for myself. But yeah, I'm so far ahead anyway that it doesn't even matter. Right now, I can kind of watch some stuff for myself and watch some stuff that I'm going to be reviewing. Right, so kind of cool to be this far ahead with everything. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys in the next review. 9 out of 10 for this movie. Bye bye for now.